60 of them, as Ollie said earlier. And I thought, wow, that's brilliant. What how many I've been to? So I sat down with the list and I ticked them off one by one, the ones I've been to. And I've been to 28. Not bad, but not exactly 60. And that was when the sort of first seed of the idea was sown. And I decided that maybe I need to do something which would see me go to every single racecourse in Great Britain, all 60 of them, from Perth up in Scotland, to Newton Abbot down almost in Cornwall, to Yarmouth over on the Norfolk coast, to Brighton, to Aintree, all over the country. And I thought, well, great idea, but no one's going to sponsor me just to go racing, because everyone knows all I want to do is go racing. So I thought, well, it's got to be something a bit more major than that. I can't ride horses, so I couldn't do that. I have a very dodgy left knee, which doesn't like one particular angle of flex, so riding a bicycle between them wasn't a runner either. So I thought, well, maybe I could walk. Maybe I could walk between all 60 of Britain's racecourses. And then I looked at the map, which showed Perth all the way up there, and Newton Abbot all the way down there, and Yarmouth, and I thought, no, that's a silly idea, really. I'm too old, and I've got a family, and I've got a job, and it'll take forever, and why do I want to do that? Anyway, it's kind of a very long story short. In the end, I decided I was going to do it. So in March 2015, I left Newmarket, which is the headquarters of British Racing, headquarters of global racing, really, where they've been racing for 350 years. Can you believe that? First recorded racing in this country 350 years ago. To walk to Towcester, which was 76 miles away, the first of the 59 legs to link all 60 of Great Britain's racecourses. And I arrived at each racecourse on the day that they had a race meeting. And I finished every leg by then walking around the racecourse with jockeys and trainers and people from the press and media and so on. And in fact, complete coincidence this, our day when we arrived at Epsom was this day 2 years ago. I walked from Lingfield to here, which is actually a relatively short walk. The longest walk I had, well, the shortest walk I had in the whole thing was walking from Goodwood down in Sussex to Fontwell, which is about 7 miles, and it's downhill most of the way. And we did that before lunch on a Sunday. And I always tried to get lots of people to come and walk with me, because it's more fun walking with people than it is walking on your own. And surprisingly enough, I got more people volunteering to come and walk with me between Goodwood and Fontwell than I had for any other leg, because it was 7 miles. The longest leg was from, well, there were two that were exactly the same distance actually, from Fakenham, which is up on the Norfolk coast, overlooking the North Sea, to Leicester. It's 106 miles. It's a long way to walk, 106 miles. I walk at about, when I was walking on my own, about just under 4 miles an hour. So it takes a fair old while. So that was 106 miles, as was Carlisle to Ayr up in Scotland. In total, I walked 2,910 miles, which is, in anybody's language, quite a long way. It's the equivalent of walking, as near as makes not much difference, from here to New York, if I could walk on water, which I didn't have to do, thank heavens. I did it, as I say, I did it for charity. Charity is, you are here today because of charity. Racing today is all about this charity, which I think is fantastic, because it combines education and it combines racing. And this is a great sport. I know that some of you clearly know your stuff, and you've been racing a fair bit. I really hope that apart from all the stuff you've learned today, I really hope today gives you a feel for, it's just an amazing sport, this. Wonderful people work in it, from all the lads and lasses down when we went down to the stables looking after the horses, all the people on the race course, the jockeys, the train. It's a brilliant, brilliant sport, and I really hope that today has given you a feel for the sport. I did it, as I say, for two charities. One, to try to find a cure for pancreatic cancer, which is a miserable, horrible illness, and all the rest of it. So let's not talk about the miserable bit. And I also did it for a charity called Racing Welfare, which essentially looks after everybody in racing, other than the jockeys. Why not the jockeys, you might say? Well, the jockeys have their own charity called the Injured Jockeys Fund, which is incredibly well supported, quite rightly. Jockeys go to work every day, and when you watch the races, you'll always notice one thing. In every race, they're followed by an ambulance. There aren't many people who, when they go to work every day, are followed by an ambulance. But there will be an ambulance that goes around the course the whole way following them, because it is an incredibly dangerous sport. Not just, obviously jump racing is more dangerous, because if you fall off, you know, it's like falling off the back of a car at 40 miles an hour, and you land pretty hard, and then you could have 20 horses coming up behind you with those hooves, and 3 ton of horses can make an awful mess of them. They are incredibly brave people, and the Inter-Jockeys Fund does a wonderful job to support them. But there are loads and loads and loads of other people who work in racing, without whom it wouldn't happen. Stable lads, stud hands, box drivers, racecourse employees, you name it. In total, there are about 45,000 people employed in racing. And you know, horses are big and very dangerous, and when things go wrong, they can go badly wrong, and these people need support and need help. So in total, as I say, I walked 2,910 miles. I had the best year and a bit of my life doing it. It was just such fun. I can't tell you what fun it was. And in the end, I raised about £480,000 for those 2 charities, which I was very pleased with.